Nearly every major comic book writer eventually takes a swing at Batman. Yet for all of Geoff Johns' influence at DC, reshaping Green Lantern, redefining the Flash, and expanding Superman's mythos, his ventures into Gotham have been surprisingly rare. While his brief stints in event comics like Infinite Crisis and Flashpoint showcased Batman's importance in the DC universe, it wasn't until Batman, Three Jokers that Johns truly wrote a definitive Dark Knight story. Though Batman, Earth-1 introduced a compelling reimagining of Bruce Wayne's origin and offered creative freedom outside continuity, it's Three Jokers that stands out as Johns' most provocative and layered Batman tale. The elusive Batman run. Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, Johns became one of the most celebrated writers in superhero comics. His Green Lantern saga resurrected Hal Jordan, introduced the emotional spectrum, and turned the franchise into a cosmic epic. His work on The Flash cemented Wally West's legacy, and Superman, Brainiac, and New Krypton brought sweeping scale and emotion to the Man of Steel. Meanwhile, Batman remained at the periphery of Johns' stories, often appearing as part of larger ensemble casts in titles like Justice League or event books like Brightest Day. Even in Green Lantern, Rebirth, Batman functioned more as a skeptic than an ally, most notably getting clocked by Hal Jordan in a now iconic panel. It wasn't until Johns was freed from the narrative constraints of the DC mainline that he truly gave Batman center stage. The Three Faces of Madness. Originally teased in 2016's Darkseid War, Three Jokers stemmed from a single, haunting question. What is the Joker's true identity? When Batman asked the Mobius chair for the Joker's real name, it replied cryptically, "There isn't one Joker, there are three." Published under DC's Black Label, Three Jokers quickly became one of the most talked-about Batman comics of the decade. Though technically outside official canon, the story is deeply connected to key moments in Batman history. It revisits the trauma of the Killing Joke and death in the family, focusing on the two characters who suffered most at the Joker's hands, Barbara Gordon and Jason Todd. The story introduces three distinct Jokers, the criminal, the clown, and the comedian, each representing a different aspect of the character's long and chaotic legacy. The series plays with the idea that Joker's inconsistent backstory isn't a bug, but a feature, intentional chaos that reflects his role as an agent of psychological warfare. Style and structure inspired by legends. Working with artist Jason Fabok, Johns leaned heavily into the aesthetics of Alan Moore and Brian Bolland's The Killing Joke and the formal precision of Watchmen. The 9-panel grid returns, invoking a sense of unease and control that clashes with the Joker's thematic anarchy. Fabok's designs also pull visual cues from live-action Batman adaptations, especially Tim Burton's Gothic Gotham, and the varying film interpretations of the Joker. The book oozes atmosphere and reverence for the character's complex visual history. Yet for all its ambition, Three Jokers faced criticism. Some readers found its answers unsatisfying or too ambiguous. Others questioned whether introducing multiple Jokers added anything new. Still, the story accomplishes what many Batman tales attempt but rarely achieve. It provides emotional closure. Batman confronts Joe Chill. Jason Todd explores his trauma. Barbara Gordon reclaims her agency. These character arcs offer rare reflection and catharsis in a franchise often defined by unresolved pain. The verdict on Johns' Dark Knight. Batman, Three Jokers may not be universally beloved, but it's undeniably bold. It engages with Batman's deepest wounds and dares to question the mythology behind his greatest villain. Johns uses the Joker not just as a madman, but as a symbol of Batman's fragmented psyche, a mirror fractured into three jagged shards. For a writer whose resume includes era-defining runs across the DC universe, Three Jokers is Johns' most personal and psychologically ambitious Batman story. It may live in a liminal space between canon and imagination, but it's exactly that tension that gives the story its edge.